Hey everybody, welcome to Chair Chat with Larry. What do you see here? A whole bunch of boxes, cause we're moving. Which got me to thinking about kind of the reason why we're moving. In-house accessibility or home accessibility. And so this episode's gonna focus on some of the reasons why I'm moving, how I've adapted the house to be accessible, what I like and dislike, and what I change and what I, so forth. So basically, the two main rooms that I'm gonna go over as far as accessibility is concerned are the two most important in my opinion, and that is the kitchen and the master bathroom. Because we eat every day, we shower every day. And a couple of the things that I've done to make the house that we have currently more manageable for me, or things that I don't like that I want to get changed in the new place. And those are the two, I think, main primary things. Now some would say maybe the bedroom. Personally, I don't have issues getting in and out of bed, and that is definitely something to think about for others. But I think as far as the actual house and the structure and the layout, I think that's something that you can kind of, it doesn't relate to the house and its structure. So I wanted to focus on more or less layout and just some modifiable ideas. And I'd love to see some of the things that you guys have. I know some people prefer a roll-in shower, but I prefer the bench. So, and we'll check that here in a few. All right, so we're gonna start in the garage. See, we got the platform that I put for groceries' sake, so I can take my, as you've seen in a previous video, I can just take my groceries and yeah, just place them and slide them all the way to the door, so when I go back around I can do that. Part of the reason we're moving is because the majority of housing is inaccessible and needs modifications, and at the time my wife was pregnant, and this needed the least amount of modifications in order to get it working in a quick manner of time. Ramp coming around here, and this is my in and out pretty much every time I need to get in and out, and part of the reason why we're moving, to be able to get something that's a little more manageable. So yeah. Alright, so I kind of want to start in the kitchen. Things that I don't like. Well, it's awful tight, and you get me and one or two or three kids and a wife in here, forget about it. There's no maneuvering whatsoever. Not a big fan of, well, just the counter heights. Again, I mean, this is level with my face here. I personally, I love cooking, but I've never been a big fan of having things, especially when you're frying stuff, you got that stuff spattering, it goes into your face, you're gonna have a bad time. So I think in the new place, the plan is to have a roll under, similar to that over there, and to be able to have this at a reasonable height and so forth to manage. Yeah, being able to roll under would be much preferred. The other big thing too is I thought double oven. I mean, the place had double ovens when we moved in, but I've realized that even though the idea of having two things going at once sounds great, if you think about it, I mean, this is face height here. You're trying to not touch this area while trying to pull something out, and again, more than likely you're gonna burn yourself and you're not gonna have a good time. I know some folk that have adjusted their sinks to where they roll under. I had one. I'm kind of hit and miss with it. I've learned to sort of cope with some of the things to where it's not as bothersome to me. Now, if I won the lottery and could completely change everything and afford it, then yeah. So over the years, I figured out the things that I don't want, and I go down the priority list from there. I've gotten so used to most sinks as far as that's concerned, but the nice thing is you got dishwashers, so use them. That's part of the accessibility. I mean, I do you know, dishes by hand as well, but I just kind of cock my chair to the side and go to town. So yeah, that's the kitchen. I also wanted to note, as far as refrigerators, it depends on the person. I prefer the split doors because it gives me more clearance when I'm trying to open the fridge. And if you have just one wide singular door and a space about this size, I mean, you're not going to have room to get and maneuver around your chair. So personally, I prefer those, and then having some sections underneath to easily reach. My other main focus is the master bathroom because, again, showering and cleanliness is imperative to the chair folk, because if we get wounds, we got to keep them clean. And with our bowel and bladder programs and so forth, cleanliness is key. So I find that the kitchen and the master bathroom are are the two most important as far as priority list concerns. One thing that I like is I like these little sinks. They were relatively cheap, yeah, I mean, there's other brands, and I might play with them in the new place, but what I like is that here you're able to have some playroom as far as being able to roll under, but you don't lose all your cabinet space for your toiletries and stuff. So for me, that works really well. And I've had a low little mirror because, yeah, most of the time they're put up pretty high. My potty. Yeah, obviously you can see my littlest one prefers daddy's potty. So the thing with this is I use this to kind of balance. You always want a bar just for stabilization purposes. So it's between here and here, as you can see the the dirty hand marks. But yeah, I mean, the other thing is what I personally like for sanitation is totally got a bidet attachment, because there's no shame in my poop game. You know, because we're not able to grab and release certain muscles like we'd all like to. I think having that as a means to help cleanliness is pretty key. I love it. This one was pretty inexpensive, and as far as being a parrot, and I once I got it, I haven't gone back. And obviously, it goes without saying that you need some orange blossom in your life, because you know that. Anyway, here's my shower. Much larger than what we're gonna get, I think, in the new place, but we had space to work with, so we kind of managed with it the best that we could as far as figuring out what would work. Personally, I like to roll up over here, and I slide over to the bench to where I have my shower head and so forth. And that's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. There's not too much to it, but they are two key points that you want to kind of pay attention to. Alright everybody, so that kind of hits most of my main focal points, are the ramps to be able to get in the house, and as far as my priority list is concerned, it's kitchen and master bath. One other thing that you want to make sure that you keep an eye on is door width size. You know, personally, if given the choice, I go for a 3-foot door every time, and in the new place, that's what's going to be the standard throughout. You know, everything outside of that, as long as I can access every room with the 3-foot door, I can manage. The big thing is the kitchen, because it's where I like to spend time, and it's where we kind of, it's a spot it's heavy traffic, so space is needed there with the right layout. The master bath, again, cleanliness is key. And you want to be able to do that as comfortably as possible, for sure. You know, everything else for me is kind of secondary, and absolutely, if I get a little more ability, I adjust accordingly. But those are kind of my ideas. Hope it helps. I'd love to hear your thoughts, how you've adapted. Send me pictures of your bathrooms, your kitchens. Tell me what you like and what you don't like. I'd love to hear it. And you might give me some ideas that I'm like, hey, all right, we're building. Let's throw that in. I dig it. But thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And as always, thanks. See you later.